Hello everyone, this is Som Gaming. Hope you enjoy the content. Welcome to a brand new series of Whiskerwood. This is a game I wanted to play for a long time. I played it as soon as it came into early access, and I had a lot of fun with it because I streamed it. But I didn't play it for about 3 weeks now, and I've seen there has been so many updates. I believe 10 or so. So the devs are really putting a lot of effort in this. So I wanted to start a brand new game and do it a series like my Manor series. So let's start with a new game. I'm going to go with Far Frontier. There's other modes as well, but just to keep it simple, I want to go with the first mode. My settings will be normal. The only thing I want to turn off is actually the pirate raids. And the reason I want to do that is because it's quite a frustrating thing. And I believe at the moment there is not really good way to deal with it, while down the line, if based on the devs and so on, there will be better ways to deal with them. The other thing is I need to name my village. In this case, I'm going to name it Whiskerwood, and that will be our colony. The next thing that is quite important is these 5 first whiskers is the first time and probably the only time that you can essentially freely roll your people. And there's not a lot of rules, but one thing that I've heard is really good, and I will show you why when we come to it, is you should be looking for an apprentice. Now, I'm going to roll a few times until I get an apprentice that is also a farmer as well. You see, this is an apprentice, but it's actually in the Explorers Guild. After a bit of rerolling, we got this set. They're not the best set. We've got some things that are not ideal, like Greedy or My Pace, but at least we have Wender here, which is an apprentice and Worm Core. So we're just going to get started. And given we're playing on normal difficulty, it shouldn't be that hard. So let's embark. So there's the commissioner for the claws. In case you don't know, the concept of this game is we're the whiskers or mice, and we serve the claws or the royal claws, which is the Cat Overlord. And this is the commissioner that basically tells us that we need to settle. And you'll see as soon as we settle, we need to start paying the claws lots of taxes. The choice of your island is, as with most city building games, is very important. There's a few things to look out for. And to be honest with you, most of the games I started, I found that the middle island is usually the best. Now, a few things that you want to be looking for. You want to be looking for trees, lots of trees, ideally. Not too high. I mean, having it high is okay because you can always use stairs, but not too steep. And you want berries because that will be your first food source. And then you want lots of mine, easily accessible mine, like this one here. So basically, so far, this is excellent. And the other thing you're looking for, which I see this one has, is this green area. The green area, you can think of it as fertile land. So the more green area you have, the more fertile the island will be. So here we have lots and lots of fertile land, basically. Now, for example, this one is not ideal. It's too tall and we won't be able to access it early on. This is another good candidate, but is quite small, and it also doesn't have a lot of mining. These are all very small and very flat, to be honest. Not many trees, not many fertile land, so they're not that good. And the last one is this one, which is basically a massive mountain, which again, it will be very hard to access. Probably the second best would be this one. Again, lots of fertile land, lots of mining and so on. But I think I'm going to settle in the middle one. I'll settle here, start mining these guys here, just for some quick mining. And then I will move on. To settle in this game, you just basically build a trade dock where you want it. And in this case, I will build it here. And we're settled. And you can see the little mice. They're now on the boat, ready to depart. Which is quite cool. And now they're going to come off and start the colony. In case you don't know, by the way, to go into the photo mode, as they call it, you need to do Shift P. So we get the second message from the Royal Commissioner. It basically tells us that we need to build a warehouse and it needs to be close to our dock because essentially the resources will be taken from our warehouse to pay the taxes. So in this case, I'm going to build a central warehouse just across. Could even build it actually next to it, maybe. Let me see what it looks like if I build it next to it. It doesn't align greatly. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, so let's build it here. Now, because at the moment we don't have any whiskers working, you see that all of the whiskers will get to building essentially. Yeah, you see them here, are at work. And that's how our colony begins. We need to sign this charter, which basically makes us liable to the clause. And we need to start paying tax. And the way this game works is you don't directly pay with coins. You pay with things that amount of certain coins. In this case, for example, these logs amount for 8 coins. But you'll see that down the line when we get our first tax. The first thing I want to do while the game is paused, I want to set up my first core industries. And the core industries in this game, which is similar to other colony games, is woodcutting, mining, and foraging. So I'm going to go into the resource extraction tool, and I'm going to build the three relevant buildings. Now, these buildings have the unique ability that they can be moved without any additional cost. So you basically can build them and then move them anywhere for free. That's why I will build them next to the warehouse or very close to the warehouse. So there is not a lot of transportation time for the materials. Imagine if I build up to here, they need to bring all the logs. Well, if it's here, it's just next to it, and then I can move it. I will do the same with the forager hut, and I will do the same with the mining camp. Down the line, we'll also build a farm and stuff, but for now, we can leave it. So I'm just going to speed up time while they build the things. We got a new quest, which is to have 2 mining camp workers, and we also have the mining completed. What I will do now, I will move the mining closer to here, and I'm going to assign our first workers. When you are assigning workers, each workplace has a type. In this case, it's part of the miners guild. And if I can find miners to work here, they will have, as you see here, extra productivity. So in this case, I'm going to put farm, which is a miner, and you see this shiny thing indicates bonus productivity. And I'm also going to put in someone else that, unfortunately, I don't have any other miners. So I'm just going to put strong shoulders because they can, Doodle is strong shoulders because they can carry more. Then it will be the forager. For the forager, I'm going to put it close to the berries, and I'm going to assign again, Posen because they are part of the, Explorers Guild. Finally, I'm going to do the wood chopper. For the wood chopper, the only wood that is on the ground level is actually this one here. So I'm going to assign them here for now. And then I'm going to assign one of the remaining the whiskers. The next thing you need to do is you need to assign them where you want them to work. So in this case, I can come in here in the mine tool, and I can say that I want them to clean up this, and then do this coal here. I'm very selective now because I want them to get the coal as soon as possible and the ores, but down the line, I will build a proper mine. Then similar with the foraging tool, I want them to forage this and this. And then for the wood cutting tool, I want them to cut these trees. Okay, and let's let time play. Notice how I left one whisker as the builder. I might not be necessary just now because we don't really have anything else to build just yet. So maybe I can assign them here. And we get our first whisker ship. The whisker ship essentially gives you new whiskers for your colony, and you get like a choice of 5. Yeah, choice of 5. My advice and what I will try to do here, I will try to get only whiskers that are worth getting in a way, like they're good in a way. I'm not going to bother with whiskers that are not they won't help my community. I see already that there is an educated guy called Jedi. Now they are weak, which means they cannot lift very much, but educated is a really good property because it means we can have them as a teacher or in the research lab, and you need one to have that, so that's really good. I really want this guy as well because they're healthy and they can carry 4. Yeah, I might leave the educated for another time, to be honest, although he's tempting because I only have 25 approval. Yeah, let's go with this guy so we can have another miner. And they have weak knees, strongly dislikes heavy labor and is more likely to get hurt. Okay, and then explorer, extra resistant to cold. Okay, let's get this guy as well. Cool, the rest they can go. Now I got another person from the explorers guild, so I'm going to replace this with explorers. Same with here, I'm going to replace with the miner so we can get the bonus. The next thing I want to build is, notice how each time they forage something or they finish with a piece of work, they have a bit of a local storage, but then they have to carry them back here into the warehouse to yeah, like these mice here. So to sort this out, it's advised you build local warehouses close to the industries. The warehouses can be found in here, and they're called storage shed. So I'm going to put one here, which will be for the foraging. And I'm going to put... there's not enough space to put one there, so maybe I put it... I could put it here, I guess, and then... Yeah, they can chop around it, maybe. Okay, for the second warehouse, I decided to wait until they finish chopping this tree. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop them from chopping this tree, and I'm going to have them focus on this one. Now, up here we can see we have two builders, which they have now built the warehouse. Now that the warehouse is built, I want to make this even better by actually only allowing certain things to come in here. This means I'm kind of localizing the industry. So I'm going to disallow everything or reject everything, and I'm only going to allow logs at the moment. And I also want to allow, where is the berries? And berries. So these are the only things that are here in the vicinity. Maybe flax for the future as well. So that means that the miners will not use this to load, which is good. Now that they cleared up this area, I'm going to build a second warehouse. And the day has finished, so we get to our first night. During the night, the whiskers just chill here at the warehouse at the moment. Down the line, when we have houses, they will go to the houses or the cafe and so on. And eventually they will fall asleep outside because, again, we don't have housing for them. And at the end of the day, we'll get like a summary how we did, and accordingly we'll get or lose approval. While we wait for the night to go, I want to complete this quest.
Paying taxes to the crown is your primary responsibility.
Now this quest
Most colonies pay their taxes
is for the mining,
ores.
and we get an
Copper
extra
pays
whisker.
best, but coal is more plentiful. Desperate colonies will ship out their...
Okay, we got a new whisker. Now we don't get a choice of what the whisker is, so let's have a look. We got someone called Gaines. No, actually, wait, no. Oh no, I think, yeah, we got someone called Gaines. Oh, actually, they're really good. Yeah, they're really good, and they're a miner. That's good. Okay, now we get the summary for the first day. Notice how we have minus approval because they slept outside. But the trick in this is that we also have plus approval because it's fresh start. I think this lasts for 2 days. So essentially the first 2 days, you get this negative effect countered by the fresh arrival. So technically speaking, although it's a bit mean, I don't need to build houses until the second or third day. With that in mind, we're going to continue with the days. We have plenty of approval now. Well, not plenty, but we have quite a bit. Then they're going to build a second warehouse. I'm going to immediately build a second mining camp. And to do that, I hover over and press C, and it will copy it, and I will put it here. Now that the second warehouse is built, I'm only going to allow logs in here. And another supply ship has arrived. In this case, I think we'll get a choice. Now, early on, because we don't have planks, or we don't have a sawmill, I think it's called, it's better to get this, as long as I have enough money. And I will select it and show you how I know I have enough money. At the top left, you can see we're due 243, so we need to pay 243 coins to the clause. But we already have in storage 562 worth. And the reason we have so much is because we were being smart about our ore, because we already mined quite a lot of it, especially copper, because it's quite expensive, or worth a lot. The second mine is built. I'm going to move it close to these mines, and I'm going to assign our new worker. 3 workers is fine for now. Now, in the very beginning, you will see we're starved with wood, like we'll need a lot of logs. So I think I will consider building a second logging camp. Sooner or later, they won't be able to access these trees because you see this in the second level. And to sort this out, all you need to do, you come to paths and walking, and you build them a staircase. I'm going to also assign them this wood, and they will be busy for a while. The logging camp is built. Let's move it. And let's assign, unfortunately we don't have an explorer, so we're just going to assign Doodle to it. Now, I only have one person on food, and you might wonder, is that enough? I mean, at the moment I have quite a lot of food because I start with some cooked food. Once this runs out, I might consider adding more people. The next thing I want to try and build is I want to go for the fishery. The fishing dock is one of the best early on buildings because it provides you a steady supply of food, and it doesn't cost as much as you can see, and it's kind of infinite. No, it is infinite. All you need is the sea. So let's build this. I'm going to build it close to my warehouse. Let's put it here. And let's the one builder build it. While we wait for the second night to pass, I will talk about what I'm thinking through the plan. So, as you can see here, we have a bit of a mining area. I'm going to wait until they mine this coal, just so it's out of the way. Then this will probably be perhaps either the baths or the housing area. And I want to start establishing a strong mining operation here, because you see we have so much mine. We even have gold, which is worth a lot. There'll also be an underground mine as well, which I will explain when we come to it. Now, the night is almost done, and we'll get a summary of what's going on. Cool. So we see that we still get some approval. Again, this effect still stays, so it's fine. So let's start a new day. Now I think it's time to start thinking about housing. I will let this be built first, so I will set it as high priority. And
other matters demand your attention. Housing is not a luxury. Some whiskers have already resorted to makeshift camps. I implore you to provide us shelter. We cannot survive as a colony living out in the elements. Winter's arrival will see temperatures plunge, and you cannot fight the cold with fires alone. Homes are our only defense.
So first we got one quest that asks us to essentially build housing, which we are in the process of doing, or we will be. And the first tax collector has arrived. So let's pause the game and let's look at the tax. Now, the way this works is you get the amount up here, and I need to start loading the ship essentially with goods until I meet one of these. Now, the bare minimum that you need to meet is here. If you go anywhere beyond, you get even more rewards, and the claws like you more. So let me load up with a bit of copper, although I think the copper will be useful down the line. I think it's fine. Let's put some coal. And I'm also going to put a bit of berries and some flax. Now, let's try and see if we can do it exactly. Maybe I take one out. Yeah, it's fine. It's not exactly, but it's close. So now I have gone to this level because going here not only gives us better relationship, better grid rolls, but it gives us 2 awards and a higher chance to get a schematic. The schematics are essentially free new buildings without needing to research them. And early on, when the taxes are not that high, it's very well advised to do this. I could try to get a full one. No, I think it's fine. I think for this one, we'll send just this level. And soon you will see what I mean by we'll get better options. We see there is a lot of traffic in our dock. Oh, they're gone. Okay, I thought... Yeah, there you go. You haven't met your... What? Oh, you have met. I thought you haven't. Another whisker ship has arrived. Let's have a look what we have on offer. We have another miner, but unfortunately their attributes are horrible, so we're not going to get them. We've got a farmer that is also considerate. And we also got a perfectionist. This whisker cares deeply about perfect execution. So they are fast, but they are... Yeah, they're an explorer. So... And this is an engineer, inquisit. Always asking questions, learns faster at school. Okay. I think I'm going to take cheaper. I could reroll as well, but... I don't know how you reroll. No, it's fine. I don't want any more because they're not. There is none that kind of really sticks out. So I will save my approval. Off they go. Now we have 2 builders, which is good because I want to start. Planning for houses. And in the meantime, we get the supplies. Now, notice how I mentioned the schematic. Now we get a plank adobe, which basically abode, which is basically a better house. So what I will do is essentially that we get this house for free now. So I'm going to select that. And because we paid a bit more, we have a second option or a second thing to get. Now, it is tempting to get 2 whiskers, but I don't want to grow too fast because then you need to worry about housing and so on. So what I will do, I will actually get the cut stone and the planks, because planks, as I said earlier, are really good early on. All right, so now we have a better house. Speaking of houses, it's time to start building some. Now, this one requires 21 planks, which is a lot. I can build one, but it might be a bit of a waste, to be honest. Yeah, I'll build one of these just because they look nicer, but I don't have the capacity to build more. What I like to do with the houses is I like to have them close to the workplaces. And let's face it, the workplaces will stay around here for both the wood choppers and the foragers. So let's build one house here, and then the remaining will be a log cabin. So we'll build one here. Oh, and I also like to put the houses here on the water. I find it quite nice. And I try to squish them where possible, just so we can save on space. Let's actually remove this. Yeah, I want to squish them so we get as much of the space as possible. There we go. So now we have, what is that, a total of 6 houses, and they're going to start building them. Now I want them to prioritize this one and also this one. It's always good, especially when you are mass building, to prioritize buildings, because if you don't, then what they will do, you see all of these require logs. So what they will do, they will bring one log here, one log here, one log here. So they will take ages to build them all. So this is, in my opinion, a better strategy. Let's build another house. Oh, this is a plank. Let's build another one this way. And they won't have space to go through. So let me delete this. Let me think through this. What's the best way to build it? Here they won't have access. Maybe here? Maybe the way we built it was fine. Yeah, maybe we can build one here and one like this. And whenever there is no access, you can just simply build a makeshift path. Like this. Okay. Okay, our builders will be quite busy. If I get more whiskers, I will definitely leave them as builders. This whisker has managed to get stuck. I don't know how. The way to do it is either I build them a path to go over, or I essentially grab them and take them out of this situation. Yeah, it's quite unfortunate. Let's have a look. Right, let's solve this issue by adding... Oh, we don't have logs. Yeah, I don't have logs, so he'll need to stay there. I can grab him, but if you grab him, you lose... Yeah, you lose one approval. So it's fine. We can just put him here. I think it's time to migrate our mining industry. And to do that, we will move the first camp. Let me have these guys work here and here and here, because there is quite a bit of mining from what I can see. In case you didn't know, in this game, you can actually build deep mines. What do I mean by that? When I press Z, but first of all, you can see that here, they have been building ladders and they're going underneath, like a proper mine. If I press Z and then I keep pressing V, I go down a level, and then I go one level down. You see, we have actually copper down here. And if I set them to mine this copper, they will actually come down here and they will work the work. And they will keep going lower and lower and lower. I think there's not really a limit in this game. I'll do that for this side for a bit more, just so we have a steady supply now that we need it. But in the meantime, I'll also start establishing a mine in the other side. This is the side that I want to set up the mining. So let's move this mine here. And let's also start setting up a few warehouses. So I'm going to set up... Oh, I don't have the... Yeah, okay. I don't have the logs, but eventually I will be able to. Okay, and we have the first end of the day. Sorry, we have another end of the day. Now you can see that we have lost that that fresh start or like new start benefit. So now we're just getting the full negative of slept outside, which means is we need to prioritize building the houses as soon as possible. For that, then, actually, I'm going to wait before I do this move. So I'll take the mining back. And yeah, I will make sure that people are working actively on the houses. It looks like they're building. I think what's taking long is bringing the planks. We have a lot, but yeah, it's taking its time. We also see that we're starting to struggle with food as well. So I need to technically put another whisker for forage as a forager. And we get another supply ship. In this case, again, I'm going to go for planks because I really need them at the moment and I need the extra food. Now we get this warning up here. It means that there is no workplace close by. And that's for the forager. That's because they basically finished with all of the stuff around here. And to access more berries, I'm going to need to put a ladder and then another ladder. Okay, and I'm going to have them forage this stuff, and this stuff. Oops. Now, sooner or later, we need to start with the farming, and I think this would be one of my farming areas. And maybe this up here will be another farming area. And this will probably also be a good farming area after the guys clear it up. I forgot that the fishing hut or fishing dock has been built for a while now. Now, this is why we need an apprentice, because to operate this, you definitely need an apprentice. You cannot start putting any other workers. The other reason I wanted an apprentice farmer is because this is a farming building. So if I assign when they're here, they will have both they will be both an apprentice and also have the productivity boost. So let's do that now. I think I'm going to take one person out of wood just so they can work as a builder. Potentially same with, yeah, I'll do the same with mining. Just for one day until they can finish the houses. This would be another rough night because we don't have any houses yet. Well, we have some, but not many. One thing I would like to see from the future of the game, or maybe it's already present, it's just I haven't played that far, is more things to do at night. Because at the moment there isn't much to do at night, just literally wait. So it would be nice to see if there is any things to do at night down the line. And there's another end to a day. Day 4 has ended. Let's press to end. And again, slightly better because we fit the condition of one house, but still we're far from doing good. So we definitely need to sort out the houses. That's why on this day, day 5, we have 3 builders. So hopefully they will prioritize the houses and get it done. Another house has been built, great, and they're also building this one. Slowly we get less and less homeless whiskers. And actually I can fit another house here, and they will still have access. Maybe I can put one here. Yeah, like a little community of whiskers. I think that's enough houses, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's enough houses. Okay. They just need to build them. Another whisker ship has arrived. Let's have a look what we're dealing with. I can't get them, unfortunately, because I don't have any approval. So we'll have to refuse them all. Yeah. There's a bit of a mismatch on my side on this one, but it's fine. It's... We'll work through it. As soon as the houses are built, we'll start getting steady approval rating. Hopefully by the end of today, they will... I think it looks like we'll have 3 done. Yeah, I think we'll have 3 done. Oh, and we also did this quest.
Other matters demand your attention.
Let's turn it in to get some planks. Awesome. Come on, finish this one. We might not finish, so we'll have 4 people homeless. It's because they are going here. I should have made this high priority and this high priority. They went back to these warehouses. I think my issue was that I set these warehouses to be built, which wasn't an urgent thing. So, yeah. Which means these are now building the warehouse rather than focusing on the house. Okay, at least this is built. So now we'll finish the day with 3 homeless, which is less approval. Sorry, less disapproval, I should say. Let's have a look what's going on underneath. We only have a bit of copper left. So I think it's time to migrate. Let's migrate this here. And we see one of them is already built. I'm going to set this to only accept mining stuff. And stone. And essentially I'm going to mine all of this area. This would be basically a massive mining area. And I also want them to mine here. And to be honest, I probably don't need to move them ever again after this. Right, end of day 5. Okay, that's good news. We got some approval, which is great. Okay, so this is where I will leave it for the first episode. We've done quite a lot actually here. We built our first community. We set up most of our houses. We have 3 left. We have our fishing dock, which has started being operational. And we even finished with our first set of mining. And we're now going to move to another one. So this is the community that we have today. This would be our neighborhood. And you can see our 2 whiskers here looking at us all happy. And yeah, I will leave it there. I will try to post this episode of this series at least twice a week and see how it goes. I'm really liking this game a lot, so I don't see a reason not to stop playing it. And yeah, if you like the video, especially if you are excited about this series, please leave a like, comment, or consider subscribing as well if you want. It means a lot to me. So thank you everyone, and I will see you in the next episode of Whiskerwood. See ya.